What up? What up? Welcome in everybody to another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent, and we haven't had a show since I had a show on Friday. We got a members only show on Saturday, but haven't really had anything since then. It has been a really good weekend. Um, I know the members only, or actually no, I'm sorry, there was no members only show on Saturday because I was traveling, and it ended up being an all day, forever kind of deal because of delays, etc., etc. But transparency, I had a great weekend. Saturday I went 6-0, and and Sunday I went 2-1. So 8-1 weekend. I'll take it every single time. I am on the road, so if anything is a little abnormal, my apologies. But let's get to the money like we usually do. Before we get to that, let's take a look at some of these comments here. Devin, Devin first this time says Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Paco looks like he's on Philly. That game is already going on. Philly is up 28-19. Let's see. Aaron, I tend to think the early games are more under games just in general. Boofer said, I think Ski needs a players meeting about being late all the time. Casey. What up, Tasha? Justin in the building says, Happy Martin Luther King Day, kings and queens. My bad, excuse me. Dang, about to die. Need an early water break. And you know what it is? People who've been around for a while, y'all know. But I ate a lot of cheese, and it was not a good idea because cheese does not agree with me. So it's gonna be tough a little bit to get through the show. I will do my very best. JT says great weekend for members. Absolutely. Casey says nice mic ski. It's the same mic that I've always had. Same mic I use every day. For some reason, people just enjoy seeing the mic on the screen. It's like you don't have one unless it's on the screen. But nonetheless, I appreciate the compliment. Man, barely can breathe. Not supposed to eat cheese, and I ate a hell of a lot. So my bad, you guys. Gerald, I appreciate the compliment. Justin says, hell yeah, we the members are eating good. Thomas says ski equals awesome. Love the show. I appreciate that. JB Brown reminding everybody to smash the like button. Boofer says I'm fading ski this week. He's already in Cancun. Casey. Nah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of water today. It's gonna be one of those days. All right, a few more comments. Everybody giving me a hard time, as you should, because I know I was looking sounding rough to start the show. What up? I get money. She says, "Ski, that picture is crazy." Quick story time before we get started. That picture is from a day when I was with Jay Money and Ronald Kabang, and we went to this chicken place. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I believe it's either in Bellagio or Aria or something, and it has like crazy, crazy spicy chicken. And we either had a bet or maybe I was just trying to be a tough guy. I forget. And I got the spiciest of the spicy chicken that I could get. And they were making fun of me because I just needed water after water after water and blow my nose. So that's where that picture actually came from. What up, Link? Yeah, allergies do suck. All right, let's get to it. Appreciate you, Justin. All right, let's get to it. Rotation order, like we usually do. And that means today we talk about football first. And we have two games. We have to talk about the later one first, just because that's the rotation order. So we'll do that. We'll be quick with football, though. So, first up, 151, 152, Philly and Tampa Bay. This game opened up Eagles minus 2.5. They're now a 3-point favorite. Total opened up 44.5. Sorry. 44.5, and we're down to 43. So my thought all week long, if you guys have been with me, was I don't have a whole lot of faith in this Eagles team. The Eagles were not playing good to end the season, and it's been a lot of locker room controversy, whatever you will say. They're not going to have AJ Brown now, and I don't know. This morning I even saw something about Jalen Hurts just unhappy with the offense or the way the offense is being called or something like that. It literally just popped up for me. But I haven't seen a whole lot to like out of Philly. So I was expecting and thinking Tampa Bay could get out early. I don't really see anybody stopping or, hindering Mike Evans in this matchup to get a quick early lead and then just ride it out. But I see even Baker Mayfield is kind of banged up here. Doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. I want to be, but not that I think Baker is the greatest. It's just they have a lot of chemistry and they've been playing well lately. They played well to get into the playoffs. So I wanted to bet on those two guys and their connection today. And I'm unsure if we'll get it. So I think this is the game that I have to wait a little bit. Have done really good so far in playoffs. I don't want to mess it up. I go back and forth. I can think, if Baker's not out there, I want nothing to do with Tampa Bay. I'll be still looking towards the Eagles. And if Baker is in there, if you tell me Baker was okay, I would think Mike Evans can take us to the promised land. So maybe the best way to play it is like a Mike Evans anytime touchdown, or maybe even, look for Mike Evans big receiving yards day or something like that. Let's see what you guys think. What up, Bryce Miller? JT says Eagles not confident. Mike Evans receiving yards is only 67.5. That seems pretty low. I feel like he can absolutely get that. I guess maybe it's low because of the Baker status. Gerald coming with the best bet in that game. He has the under. Boofer likes the Birds -3. Ronell looking towards an under. Shaquan says no pressure on Philly right now. Love what underdog's been doing, but he's all over Philly. EQ says same. Looking towards the Eagles, but not that confident. What up, S. Warrior? Yeah, Dan. He says AJ Brown drama and Hurts finger broken. Just not really liking what I'm seeing. Casey says Baker banged up, Hurts banged up. Man, it's a mess. I agree. Tasha looking at Philly money line here. So is Justin. Casey says great Mike Evans matchup. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's if I'm liking the Bucks, that's who I think is taking us to the promised land. First class agency says Bucks have not played well the last 2 weeks of the season. Eagles experience will carry them. I think defense steps up. They cover to win by 10 or so. We'll see. What up, Joey? I'm going to move on just because I don't have the strongest feeling in that game, and we have a lot of games to get through today. Kind of disappointed that I didn't get up and get to the window with Philly because they're already up by 14. I was a little bit iffy, probably just because of the status of Embiid. And, I don't like when the star players coming back or getting integrated back into the lineup. I don't like betting on that too much. So maybe it is what it is type of deal. But next game up in NFL, we're looking at the Steelers and the Bills. And this game opened Bills minus 10. They're still minus 10. Total open 38 and a half, and still looking at 38 and a half. This game was simple for me. I just don't I don't know, what's there to like about Pittsburgh. Their best player is hurt. And I mean, Buffalo is clearly the superior team here. I'm not really scared of the number when I think about the Bills. I think when they win games, they usually do it by a big margin. And in general, in the playoffs, double digit favorites, double digit home favorites have been pretty successful. I have them as, or I have, yeah, I think it was 14-4 ATS. So Bills minus 10. It looks like the one play I'm pretty confident in NFL today. And the rest for football, I probably will have to think about. So let's see what the comment section says. How are you guys thinking about it before we move over to NBA? Mike Lou says he likes the Steelers and the Eagles. Tasha liking the Steelers plus 10 and Josh Allen anytime touchdown. JB Brown says Sixers first half is a cash cow. Manny likes the under and Buffalo. JT thinks there's some rushing props that will be, that we need to look at in this game. Boofer likes plus 10. They don't need to win by double. Doesn't mean that they can't. Joey thinks that Josh Allen will throw one of those picks. Jimmy likes the first half under 19 and a half. Manny says Pitt has no quarterback, no Watt. That's enough for me to lay it. Yeah, Dan, I mean, double digit favorites, double digit home favorites in the playoffs, I know are 14-4 ATS. I know that. I've looked it up and I've used it in previous years. But yeah, I'm not scared of the number in the playoffs. It's that big of a number for a reason. A lot of people disagree. A lot of people like the Steelers. Tasha says you have to take them anytime they're not favorite. Spread is over 3.5. She jumps all over the Steelers, she says. First class agency likes them in the first half. I don't trust the Steelers. Not for my money. Not for my money. Mm-mm. All right, let's move over to NBA. Do have a lot of games on the slate for today. And let's see if we can find some money before they pass us all up like the Philly train did. So, first game up, we are going to go 549, 550. New Orleans and Dallas opened up Pelicans -4. They're now 4.5 or 5-point favorite. Total opened up 235. We're looking at 237. Injury report. Let me just hit refresh. While I'm looking at this, I want you guys in the comment section to let me know. People who watch the show every day. Does my show sound does the sound any different than it usually does any other day? Does the sound any different than it does any other day? That's what I would like to know. But injury report, Matt Ryan is out for the Pelicans for Dallas. Doncic is out. Exum out. Jones out. All right. If I look at recent performance stats here, they all favor the Pelicans as far as the categories that I care about: offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage. Both teams have been playing well against the number. You have Dallas 8-4 ATS last 12, Pelicans 6-2 last 8. Dallas not that great versus competition. I have them at 7-9 versus greater than 55% win teams. Pelicans, meanwhile, are 13-8-1 versus same kind of teams there. But this Dallas team continues to step up whenever Luka's not in the lineup and Kyrie is. I don't have the exact quote. I should have, but yeah, I got to bear with me. I was traveling and doing all this stuff. But He was talking about how they're trying to step up without Luka out there and how they need to get off to better starts. So I don't think it's a big minus. I think I would halt on the Pels first half in this game just because I know Dallas is trying to get off to an early start. I know the Pels first half has been great, but this specific game, I think Dallas at home, early is the way to look. I'm probably not going to be involved in the game, but I'm just telling you guys how I think. Try to talk out something here. Let's see. Look at what you guys like in the comments. Didn't populate as a if you know you know system for me. Let me see. What up, Munaf? JT says Pels first half. Paco liking the Pels. Okay. Casey says it sounds better. EQ and Tasha both say it sounds the same. JB Brown just says it sounds good. Bryce Miller says it sounds normal. Saturated says it sounds better than usual. But a lot of people says so I don't know. Some people say it sounds normal. Some people say it sounds better. All right. Appreciate the input. Um, appreciate the input. Paco says, sounds super clean now that I think about it. Conf clips, no sounds the same. You ask a lot of people, you get different answers. That's just how it is. But at least for some people, I guess it sounds better. Paco says Mavs are a public dog right now. Um, yeah, that's not the main thing for me with how I bet, but I don't like to bet on a lot of public dogs. I agree with that. Smokey Betts says he's on the Mavs here. A little bit more crisper on the sound. Boofer says I can tell you're in a smaller room than normal. Well, I'm in a different room and I just made my microphone a little bit closer, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get you guys the best sound. That's all. I don't personally like to have the mic in my face like this, but if it sounds better, then I'll try to do what sounds better. All right, next game. 551, 552. This looks like Orlando heading into New York. Opened up Knicks -7. They are a 6.5 point favorite now. Total open 222 and it's down as low as 220. Injury report here for the Magic. They continue to be without Franz Wagner and Gary Harris. For the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson obviously out, and then Jalen Brunson is game time decision here tonight. I think that's huge. I mean, if you're missing your starting point guard over there for the Knicks, and I also think it's huge that you're missing Franz Wagner. So, uh, I mean, the Knicks have been playing extremely good defense. They've been playing extremely good basketball since the trade. Only one game out of seven have they not covered and have they gone over the total. So, I think they can get back to playing that good defense here in this one. Last five game stats have them as the number one defensive rated team. Magic not far behind. Magic number five. The Magic though, same time span have been the third worst offense. And I think that correlates to missing Wagner. Um, I think they've gone under in four straight, but I think their offense is going to struggle. Orlando's also playing at a bottom 10 pace the last five games. I think that will continue. And the Knicks, I think they're comfortable playing slower. If Brunson is not in this game, that's going to hinder that Knicks offense even more. So I was kind of between the Orlando team total under or just a full game under. I think full game under 220 and a half, 221 I'm seeing at one shot. I think that's I think that's the best way to go in this game. So let me just write this here. Under 220.5. Keep it on my short list. And let's see what you guys think for today. Bryce says sound usually good for him, almost always. Appreciate you, Boofer. Let's see. JT says lean Knicks and under. Knicks if Brunson is in, under if Brunson is out. Saturated says you can tell your mic was further away before because your volume is consistent. You move around like Stevie Wonder sometimes, so closer mic is better, in my honest opinion. I appreciate your honest opinion. Paco says he likes Magic plus 6.5. Says they play New York good and close. Casey says no Brunson, no way. She says Randall's making all the decisions. Not for her money, not for my money either. If they don't got Brunson out there, I'm not even considering the Knicks. But I do agree with the comment from JT as far as under for sure. If Brunson is out. Paco says I like the under as well. Trends favor it. So does Velo Cuts. So we're pretty much in agreement. We're liking the under as the best bet in this game. Let's keep moving down the list. We do have a lot to get through today. 553, 554. Looking at Detroit, heading into Washington, opened up Wizards. You're a wizard, Harry. Wizards minus 5.5. Still see 5.5s out there. There are some sixes. Total opened up 241 down to 240 and a half. Injury report. I'm going to keep refreshing because we're around that time where things start to change a lot. And I don't have my phone in front of me to get those alerts from Underdog. So for Detroit, looks like Bogdanovich is game time decision. They'll be without Cade, Gallinari, Monte Morris, Muscala. For the Wizards, looks like Johnny Davis game time decision. They'll be without Bagley and Livers. So let me skip on over here. So for this one, I mean, I really wanted to try to get there with the Wizards. I really, really did want to get there with the Wizards, man. Um, but 5.5, God, I mean, we've been cashing with them as dogs. They've been playing competitive. They did get a nice blowout win as a big underdog in the last game, but expecting them to win by margin, it's tough. One thing I'll say is they have been playing better defense than Detroit. That's the one thing they have in their corner, and they are at home. Other than that, I can't think of a lot of extra reasons to lay here with the Wizards. They are at a rest disadvantage one day compared to two for Detroit. I mean, no Cade is also, a plus for Washington, but I don't feel as confident backing these Wizards minus anything compared to how we were getting them at plus prices. So it'll just be a lean for me right now. Wizards side, and both of these teams usually play up tempo. We know one of them isn't playing any defense right now, and the Wizards aren't always the most consistent with their defense. So I do lean Wizards. Probably not going to bet this game. Let's see what the comment section is looking like for this one. Joey says Pistons winning outright. JT says ski on Wizards money line. And Mike Lou says no. Casey calls me the Wizards whisperer. Paco liked that one, I guess. Boo for telling me to get my own team. Bryce says, he got something here. I really wanted to get there with the Wizards, man. I really was trying to find every way to get there, but it just can't push confirm. Minus 5.5. Dan says he likes it under. Think you get max effort from both sides. What up, Cuban Connect? Says blessings to you and your family. Appreciate that. Hope all is well with you. I agree with this, Paco. Saturated says Duran will eat. Mike Lou says Wizards on Martin Luther King Day. They're ready to turn up, but not on the court. Justin likes the Pistons. Doug Reed says Jay Money likes Detroit. Hey, I get it. It's tough. I can't push confirm on Washington at this minus 5.5. So I understand. I get it. Pistons coming off of a nice win as a dog too, right? Or no, they lost, but they covered. We were on those Pistons in that game too. Tasha says, "No way, I'm betting the Pistons." Casey says, "As versus as, 5.5 just might be too much for the Wizards." And Relly Buns likes Kuzma over his PRA. So, I mean, last 5 game stats do tell me Detroit has been the better offense and better rebounding team than Washington. But it's very slim margins there. And I just don't feel comfortable betting this one. Next game, we will go 555, 556. Spurs heading into Atlanta. Opened up Hawks -8. They are now 8.5 point favorites still. Some 8.5s out there, a few. Total opened up 248, down as low as 245.5. Injury report: Zach Collins out. McDermott game time decision. Yeah, true game time decision. And then for Atlanta, Hunter remains out. Wesley Matthews remains out. Um, we just played against this Hawks team with the Wizards +7.5. And the thought there was, why the hell are the Hawks laying this kind of number versus anybody? They're not playing defense. I mean, they do have their guys back as far as Jalen Johnson, and they play better with him, but they're just 2-9 against the spread their last 11 games. 2-10 as a home favorite this season. Why do I want to expect them to win by double digits like this, especially versus Spurs team who's been playing really good lately? Better offensive, defensive rated teams, and rebounding team the last 5 games. Spurs have actually covered 6 games in a row. So Spurs playing really, really, really good basketball right now. Why would they still be +8 right here? And it kind of blows my mind. I can't get to an answer that I feel that makes me, want to get to the window with anything here. But what I will say is, from my memory, Atlanta usually has a good game. They usually play really well on Martin Luther King Day. They usually got some nice jerseys and all that stuff, and they usually play well. So maybe that's just what it is, but that's not enough to go put it in my pocket. So I'll just stay with my lean on the Spurs. I don't really want to bet against Atlanta on MLK Day. That'll probably keep me off, but that's how I feel about the game. I think I need an extra water break here, man. We won't put the graphic up this time. All right, let's take a look at the comment section. Yeah, they usually play well, Doug. Matt, not a fan of this Hawks team. Aaron says, don't bet against the Hawks on Martin Luther King Day. Dan says, Hawks, high energy on MLK Day. Yeah, that's just Matt Porter says, that why the line's moving towards them because MLK Day? That's the only thing I can think of because they haven't been playing good basketball, but consistently on King Day, they usually do. Cuban Connect likes the Spurs. I mean, if 1+1 = 2, Spurs +7.5 should get to the window rather easily in this game. But have a feeling it's not one of those 1+1 = 2 days. Saturated is going over 9.5 rebounds for Wemby. JT says Hawks last 2 years on King Day, they beat the Bucks 121-114, and they beat the Heat 121-113. Says first year was on a 10-game home losing streak. Second year was 3-game home losing streak. Yeah, even when they play terrible, they just play well. King Day. Casey thinks team total. Doug says Memphis also plays well on King Day. Justin likes that Hawks team total. Gualo says Wemby under on his PRA. Doesn't think he'll have the greatest day here tonight. Avery, Mr. Contrarian, comes in and says Hawks are the play. And from a contrarian angle, I can understand it. Relly Bun says Murray points over. S. Warrior says, are we looking at the over? I would not bet the under. Both teams will play with pace. I don't trust Atlanta to play defense. Spurs have been playing better defense lately, but can they do it consistently? I don't know. So I don't want to talk you off and over. Um, I'm probably not going to bet this game. Like I said, everything 1+1 = 2. It says the Spurs are going to win. I mean, the Spurs are going to cover, but I don't think it's one of those games. So what do I think? Like I'm explaining to you like what should make sense, but I don't think that's the winning ticket. I think Atlanta's gonna win today. I think Atlanta -8 is what gets to the window. So hopefully what I said makes sense to you guys. 557, 558, Golden State and Memphis opened up Golden State -8. We now see them, I mean, still -8 everywhere. Total open 226.5. Haven't really moved for the total either. Injury report for the Warriors, looks like they get Draymond Green back in the lineup. Still without Moses Moody, Chris Paul, and Gary Payton II. For Memphis, I mean, who's even playing? They're missing everybody. Um, Marcus Smart, Derrick Rose, Laravia, Brandon Clark, Desmond Bain, all out. I mean, John Morant, Steven Adams. I mean, they got too many people missing. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Aldama are both game time decision as well. Um, Golden State is kind of in hell no territory, but I want nothing to do with this Memphis team. We saw long enough to start the year how they looked when John Morant was not on the court. Now, they're missing Desmond Bain too, and Jaren Jackson can potentially miss. And it's not, what is there to like for Memphis in this game? Golden State, they have not been great, but they are going to get a big energy boost in Draymond. I know they're getting a big star player back the first game is not always the greatest, but this instance, I feel a little bit different. I feel like they needed his energy and they needed him to hold everybody accountable and keep them on the track that they need to be on. So I think he's a big boost for them. I would only bet Golden State today, but I did not get to the window yet. And I'm kicking myself for not getting that Philly because they're killing them 62-34 in the second quarter. But only will look towards Golden State in this one. Let's see comments. JT likes the under. So does KC. Hank asking about Mr. Curry. I can absolutely see him having success in this game. KC thinks he will. JB Brown says first quarter, first half, full game for Warriors. Take him to Smack City. And it doesn't seem like too many people like this game. So we have what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. Let's keep trying to move down this list. We have been on for about 33 minutes. Slip picks as Steph over 27.5 points. So next game we have 559, 560. Chicago and Cleveland opened up. Cleveland -3.5. They're now 4-point favorite as a consensus. Total opened up 219.5 and it's up to 222. Injury report for the Bulls. DeSumo is game time. Terry game time. Williams game time. They'll be without Torrey Craig and Phillips. For the Cavs, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Ty Jerome are all out. Max Strus looks like he's game time decision here. So the main thing, I mean, both teams have been playing pretty solid lately. They both won 4 of their last 5 games. A big difference here is Cleveland has 3 days rest compared to 1 for Chicago, and Cleveland is at home. If we look at last 5 game stats, regardless, both teams playing well, Cleveland is actually top 10 in all the categories that I care about. Better offensive rating, defensive rating, and rebounding team. So combination of those things with the rest advantage and being at home, I would only look towards Cleveland here tonight. As far as the total is concerned, I was a little bit I mean, I had a system that goes a while ago that was telling me to bet under, but this Chicago Bulls team's been sharing the ball quite well. When I see teams playing like that, I don't really want to bet too many unders, but I can't bet the over here either because just the pace that they're playing at. Chicago very close to bottom five. I think they're bottom six in pace last 5 games, and Cleveland not playing with much pace either. So if I have to make one play here, I believe it's Cleveland. Cleveland minus the 4. Let's take a look at the comment section. First one I do see is Avery says they played in Paris, though. Good point. They had what, 3 days to adjust back. I mean, I think that's enough time, but I still point taken. Aaron says Paris hangover. Everybody's asking about that. Dan, everybody says fade the Cavs after partying in Europe. I don't know if I agree with this one. I don't have any stat from when teams come from overseas. There's no way for me to put that into the database. I have a feeling. I mean, the Bulls have to be like a public dog today. This is who I would think the public dog is. I just want to take a peek at some percentages. I don't always look at it. No, public is on the Cavs as far as what I'm seeing. So maybe it is a hangover. I don't know. It's a good point that they are coming from Paris. 3 days to one though, as far as the rest is concerned. You guys can be the judge. I don't think I don't think I'll be getting involved in this game. Markel says he already doubled up. Cavs first half full game. JT says they've been back at the house. And let's keep going. Next game, 561, 562. Celtics, Raptors opened up. Celtics -7. They're now -6. Total opened up 241. Down to 239.5. And that is surprising to see in a Raptors game right now. Absolutely. Every Raptors total has been skyrocketing up. And we see this one coming down a little bit here. Injury report, and this is probably why. Jaylen Brown has been downgraded to out. For the Raptors, looks like they'll still be without Jakob Poeltl. They'll be without Koloko and Otto Porter. So I think I disagree. I disagree with the total coming down. And we've been talking about this for a while. They made the trade. You lose defense with OG. You add in pace and offense with Quickly and Barrett. And they've gone over 5 games in a row, this Toronto team. Like I said, they're playing up tempo, a lot of offense, and the second worst defensive rated team the last 5 games. I think, you look at who's protecting the rim for them too. No Pirtle, no Koloko. I mean, what center do they have? I still think it's going to be that same kind of game. The one thing that I don't like here, Toronto first game back at home after an extremely long road trip. That is usually a flat spot. They did have 2 days rest at least before this game, but definitely first game back at home after the extended road trip is a flat spot. For Boston, I don't think I really care about Jaylen Brown being out. In my mind, that means, he's been more. I mean, the guys who are behind him are not playing better defense. I'll just say that they're going to shoot a lot of threes and they're going to give up points on the other end. So I don't think that hurts the under. Toronto also the 4th worst team defending the 3 so far in the season. I think the over is still live. I want to say every game except for one since they made these trade for the Raptors have hit 240. I'm going to glance just because I like to know that I'm saying things are correct, and I want to know in case I want to jump in and make the bet here. So let me just glance really quick, pull up the Raptors. Every game so far this month, I think they've touched 240. And except for the one game they didn't go over, I am correct. That game versus Memphis, they missed it by 1 point. They scored 227. The total was 228. So I think 240, 239.5 is not too tall an ask. I would recommend still going with the over in this game. And I will mark that on my short list here. 239.5. All right. And I wouldn't be, I mean, a lot of these games too, I wouldn't be scared to double back on the second half because we've seen the Raptors game start off like kind of low scoring and then they've been exploding in the second half. Let me see what you guys think in the chat. If I had to play side, I would be looking towards it's tough. Um, yeah, it's very tough. I don't want to talk about the side because I go back and forth. I don't want to just tell you guys anything. I'm trying to give you guys some winning recommendations. Avery says, well, first JT says no Jalen, still likes the over and the Raptors. Avery says Celtics minus 6.5. Likes the Celtics in this spot. Raptors coming off a 6 game West Coast road trip. Absolute fade spot and flat spot. And I definitely understand that. That's what I was talking about there. He says Celtics own this Raptors team as well. He's aware Boston's not a good road covering team, but we do remember what happened last time on the road. Blowout city in his hometown. Says the C's will be focused, and that's who he's liking tonight. KC disagrees with the line movement down on the total as well. Sean Evans liking Barnes under 6.5 rebounds. Groovy Cap says Bulls first quarter for sure. Tasha likes Boston. I think that's saying first half. Groovy thinks this is an under game. All right, let's keep going here. Keep going down the list. So, next game, 3 games left in the NBA. 563, 564. Heat heading into Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Opened up Nets -2. They're minus 1.5. Total opened up 217, and it's up to 220.5 right now. Injury report. For the Heat, it looks like Jimmy is game time decision. Kyle Lowry is doubtful. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is out. Kevin Love is out. For the Nets, Whitehead is game time decision. Sharp is out. Ben Simmons also out. So this is a Brooklyn team who has been playing extremely bad basketball for quite a while now. I know they've only covered one of their last 9 games. When they play competition, being greater than 55% when teams that haven't been great on the season, they're 6-11-1. They are, however, 8-2 as a home favorite. So this is their role for Brooklyn. And an advantage they do have going for them. 3 days rest for these Nets compared to a back-to-back for the Heat. And this Heat team, though, has been playing well. They've covered 8 of their last 12. They are 1-3 against the spread on a back-to-back so far this season, though, and they are 8-5 as a road dog. If I look at last 5 game stats, it says the Heat have been the better offense. They've been the better defensive team. But again, a back-to-back for the Heat compared to 3 days rest for the Nets. You know, when you get extended rest like this, I think it gives you a little bit of time to fix what's going wrong. So I think the more the game goes on, it favors the Nets, and I would only look towards them. I can't back the Heat on a back to back versus a team off 3 days rest and be confident that they can win. I feel like the correct bet, as far as just trying to make a good bet, is betting on that huge rest advantage for Brooklyn and betting on them in their role as a home favorite. So lean Brooklyn. Let's see what you guys think in the chat here. Yep, big rest advantage. Doug Reed says Butler will be a factor if he's in or out. JT says Nets favorite for a reason, it feels like, since Heat don't care about this game. S. Warrior says take that Heat first half and full game. Only one starter last night played more than 30 minutes, he says. Groovy Cab says all the favorites won yesterday. Look for a few dogs to win outright, aka Bulls and Nets. Maybe that's why I didn't like the slate yesterday. It wasn't enough dirty dogs for me to get involved. I did pass on the Sunday NBA slate. Justin liking those Nets. Boofer says lean the team playing better, rest or no rest. He says Miami, but he's not playing it. And UTEP two step, reminding us that Brooklyn is the other side of that, returning from Paris. So appreciate that. I still would only look towards Brooklyn here. Next game up, two games left. We have 565, 566. Indiana and Utah opened up Jazz minus 7.5. They're now 7-point favorite. Total opened up 249.5 and is down to 245.5. Even the 245 popping up at good old Westgate. Injury report. Let me refresh one more time. So for the Jazz, I don't see anybody on there. For the Pacers, they'll still be without Halliburton, and then Neesmith is game time decision. This is the Pacers on a back to back. They did cover last night, and the Pacers have been playing good basketball. They've covered, they're 9-1-1 ATS their last 11 games. They are, however, only 1-5 ATS on the second of a back to back. Utah continues to play extremely well. I was riding them. I didn't take them in the last game just because they were a favorite, but I took them every other game. And I have them as 5-0 straight up and against the spread their last five, but their run extends farther than 5 games. They've been playing well for quite a while now, and they are 5-1 as a home favorite on the season. The category, they're number one offensive rated team, number one rebounding team last 5 games, and a top 10 defensive rated team in that same span. So combination of that and the rest advantage, I would only look towards Utah. Both teams playing well, but longer the game goes on, absolutely more advantage towards the Jazz. And for the total, it does make it tough because both teams are playing with pace here, both top 10 last 5 games. But Pacers have picked it up on the defensive end. That's why they've gone under 4 of their last 5 games. They've gone under 7 straight road games. So no Hallie, Pacers defense being a little bit better. I think I would agree. And also Pacers could run out of gas at the end. I would agree with the total coming down in this matchup. I do think, my preferred side is the Jazz. Would not be expecting, back to back performances like that versus a team who's playing just as well, if not better. So Jazz or under for this better. Let's take a look at the comments. Bryce Miller says, was at that Pacer game yesterday. Offense is crazy different with Nembhard starting. Bryce says he's horrible. I'm a Nembhard fan. Maybe you just give him a little break, man. Not too long ago he was at Gonzaga. Give him a little break. I'm still a Nembhard fan. Give him a little break, Bryce. I like Nembhard. Dan says trifecta spot for Jazz. JT says under in Jazz. Doug Reed liking the under or asking about the under. Yeah, I will lean that way. Saturated reminding us that Matherin's been getting his points prop. LJ from H Town says Utah minus 6.5. Pacers 7 games, 11 nights, 1-5 on a back to back, flying from Denver to Utah. Plus Utah 10-2 ATS their last 12 home games. And 1 + 1 = 2. Utah is absolutely the way to go. Appreciate you sharing that, LJ. Good luck. Hopefully you get to the window there. Tasha thinks she can sneak in with the Pacers first half. And Groovy says, Gee, come on, take emotion away from your money. A Pacers fan said Nembhard is not good now. Laugh out loud. Trust him. I've watched Nembhard play in person. I'm not emotional. He doesn't play on my team. He's not my favorite player. I just think he's a good player. I'm not biased towards Nembhard. I like a lot of players in the NBA. A lot of players on a lot of different teams. And I've seen him too. And he looked damn good when I seen him. All right. Boofer says the only plus points game Indy didn't cover was versus Boston. Got to take the points versus Utah. Jazz didn't cover the -8 versus Detroit. I mean, now you got me looking at my phone here, Boofer. Because when did the Jazz even play Detroit? I mean, that was forever ago. Yeah, like at the beginning of the month in an overtime game. That's like the only game they didn't cover out of like what 2 weeks. You gonna nitpick that one, Boofer? What up, Anthony Richardson? Appreciate you with the 4.99. Don't know, just saying what up. Appreciate you 100%. Hope all is well with you, brother. Thank you for the 4.99 dono. And we'll move right on over to the last game of the day, which is 567, 568. Oklahoma City Thunder heading into LA to take on the Lakers. Opened up Lakers -1.5. It is a pick 'em now. Total opened up 237.5. Consensus is 238.5. Gildress Alexander, game time decision for this matchup. Um, OKC is on the front end of a back to back. You never know. And SGA did used to play for the Clippers. Maybe he wants to save his energy for tomorrow. You never know. Lakers, you have Reddish and Vincent both out. Looks like D'Lo, true game time, along with Anthony Davis, and then LeBron James looks like he's probable. He's likely to be out there tonight. All right. Um, let's see. And Boofer says Jazz were favorites in all the other games. They were winning out. I mean, he meant dogs though, but they were winning outright though. For this one, I'm still. I mean, Lakers got to show me something. You got to, I need the Lakers to. They've only covered one of their last 7 games. I need to see some consistency, see some life before I start to jump on the LA bandwagon. So just from that perspective, I only want to look towards OKC. They've covered 11 of their last 15. Top 5 offense and defensive rated team last 5 games, and the better rebounding team than the Lakers. Even being on the front end of a back to back, obviously I would want SGA out there, but I'm not betting the Lakers. Not doing it. It's OKC or pass. And from a total perspective, both teams are playing with pace. Lakers are actually number 1 in pace the last 5 games, and bottom 6 defensive rated team in that same span. It's gone over 4 of the last 5 meetings between these teams. It's gone over 5 of the last 7 games for OKC and 12 of the last 17 for the Lakers. So over, I think, is the better look, and I would not be betting the Lakers here. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see. Saturated says SGA PRA 44.5 to the over. Groovy Caps says give me Lakers first half. And Skis pick to win, Oklahoma City to win. Lit Pick says if Bron is in, taking his points over 26.5, he sat out last game. He's well rested. Last year, he put up 48 on MLK Day. He says this is his spot. Definitely think he's well rested. So I think that's a solid look there. Tasha, sorry to disappoint you. She says, wow, Ski, no Lakers love. Can't do it. Can't do it. And Boofer says, Ski's a Wizards fan now, Tasha. Hey, Wizards are consistent at least. So I can do consistent. So we made it through the entire card, and we had a lot to get through. So now it is about that time. Let's see here. About that time. So you guys that have been around, you know what to do. But even if you forgot, I'll remind you. And for everybody who's new, I'll remind you too. You drop your best bets in the chat, but there are 3 rules. Let's see if I can remember them this time. 3 rules. You put best bet along with whatever your best bet is, so I know that it's your best bet. You put the number that you're getting your best bet at, so I can grade it, and no more no more than two best bets for the show because it just starts to get overwhelming at that point. And if you put in three best bets, one other person's put in one, and then we look at the record at the end of the day, it's just two skewed. So two or less. And while you guys let us know what your best bets are, I'm gonna look down my list. Take a look at what my short list is looking like here. See if we can make some decisions. So I really only had, I have three if we include football, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get there on football. But let me just glance one more thing here before I make my decision. Sadly, it's not going to be a dirty dog today. I know we've been doing really, really well with the dirty dogs, but unfortunately, not a dirty dog today. All right. So, one last thing. Let me just glance here. I think we'll go with a double best bet today. That's how I'm thinking. Jalen Brunson just got ruled out. So let's put it in right now. Double best bet. Magic game under 220 and a half. And we're also going with the Raptor game over 239 and a half. And these numbers might start to change a little bit. Like I said, Brunson got ruled out. I'm going to put this bet in right now. And just so you guys know, like I bet everything I'm telling you guys. So got that one. And let's get the Raptors game over. I can get 239 on that Raptors game. 239 where I'm looking at. So double best bet for the show. I will maybe add as the day goes on, but that's what we're rocking with for best bets on the show. As far as you guys' best bets, sorry I had to throw mine out there first because I know it's gonna move. But let's take a look at some of these before we get out of here. Jeffrey says Duran over 14 and a half rebounds. The Chillis likes the Hawks minus 8.5. B Sims not following the rules, but he likes the Bulls plus 4.5. Delbert Royce likes Cleveland minus 4, Warriors minus 8. Kincaid over 3.5 receptions for Sean Evans, and Saturated going with Embiid over 25.5 points. Lit picks like Steph and Bron to light it up tonight. Tasha not following the rules either. And Tasha, you've been in here long enough. You know about the rules by now. Juggler going with the Jazz. Jeff H likes the Cavaliers. And Casey liking Steph to cook it up tonight. So a lot of best bets in the chat. If you are watching on the replay, you can still see these. You just slide the comment section to the left and click it, and you have the live chat replay. If you're on your phone, and if you're on the computer, it's in the top right. So like I always say, show is absolutely nothing without the chat. I appreciate you guys. Best of luck if you tell. Good luck on all of your action, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.